High Communications, Public Speaking, Class 100. Did you know in 1983, Ronald Reagan signed a bill into law for when Martin Luther King Jr. Day would become a federal holiday? But it wasn't until the year 2000 that all 50 states recognized the holiday at the state level. In this presentation, I will tell you why we recognize MLK Jr. Day as a federal holiday for his activism in civil rights. I will share who my role model is, their effectiveness as a speaker, and how I will improve my speaking skills. I will now discuss my main points. For my role model speech, I chose Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and the speech I chose was his last speech he delivered on April 3rd, 1968, titled, "I've Been to the Mountaintop." This was delivered one day before King was assassinated. He made this speech with concerns over the Memphis sanitation strike, and he called for unity, and to challenge the United States to live up to its ideals. Martin Luther King Jr. is courageous and brave for his civil rights activism and the way he stood up for the people. I chose these elements that he brought to public speaking because he stood up for a lot of people at his time. Ronald Reagan passed a bill in 1968, but it wasn't until 2000 that all 50 states recognized this federal holiday. I admire these qualities in him because he stood up for what he believed in front of many audiences at the time. He never stopped speaking for what he believed in. I will improve my public speaking skills to embody his strengths and qualities in my presentations. With him as a role model, I will do my best to embody his strengths without apprehension in my future presentation by taking a stand for what I believe in and incorporate that into my public speeches for this class. We recognize Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a federal holiday, and the only other two people that we recognize are Christopher Columbus and George Washington. We recognize it every third Monday of January of the year. In conclusion, we choose to recognize Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. every year because of his prominent influence during the civil rights movement in the 1960s. "I've Been to the Mountaintop" was Martin Luther King Jr.'s last speech that was live. He was a strong person and stood up for many. I hope to embody his strengths and qualities in my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Okay.